Yeah. It's the season.
Yeah.
D's the season. So it's my favorite time of the season, actually. I look forward to this every year.
It's like CrossFit Christmas.
It really is. It really is. It always comes in like
CrossFit
full
Open
swing.
is so much fun.
It is. So it is that time of the year. It is CrossFit Open year. It's here. It's come. It's coming. So we're gonna kind of talk a little bit about what the CrossFit Open is as we do every year, just kind of refresh and revisit that way for those that are new and joining us. Kind of know what the CrossFit Open is, and if you have interest in it, you kind of get some details. And then we're gonna talk about the Intramural League, which is something we brought back last year. We've done way back when we first opened up. There was a couple years we didn't do it, and so we're bringing that back. We brought it back last year, and we're gonna continue that this year. We'll talk about details and what we're going to have with that and how that looks.
Yep.
So the CrossFit Open, simply put, is a worldwide competition where you will sign up and you'll compete online against thousands and thousands of competitors around the world.
Yeah. Last year was like 300,000.
Yeah. So you basically what it breaks down to is there's multiple divisions. There is an RX, there is a scale, there's a foundations.
Yep.
So this is where those that are not too sure about the Open or whether they should sign up or not, it is just like the principles of CrossFit we see in the gym.
Yeah.
Right? It is meant for anybody and everybody.
Yes.
So even if you're fresh off the block, I just started last month, or I've been doing this for years, you can do it. There is an option and there is a division for you to partake in the Open if you have interest in it.
Yep.
So who it's for can be for anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
So if you have any interest, sign up.
Yeah.
Now, looking at whether or not to sign up, this is always the tricky question.
Yep.
I think a lot of members will come to us like, should I sign
Should
up?
I sign up?
Yeah, or should I not sign up? And ultimately, it comes down to you whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
We're not going to force anybody to sign up. We're not going to necessarily pin you down on the ground and hold you hostage for it. But if you're interested, or if you have any interest, first and foremost, you ask yourself, I want to sign up, but I'm not really sure, sign up.
Yeah, we're not the gym that like says everybody should do it
Yeah.
or only the elite athletes should do it. We try to help give you information on what it is,
Yeah.
how you can modify it, how you can approach it, and if it's something that you want to do, you want to push yourself, you want to see where you stack up, whatever, just sign up because, like, again, it can be for anybody.
Yeah.
And so, like, the way I kind of look at it is it's like one of my yearly check-ups in my fitness. So I get to see where I stacked up against the entire world last year and the year before and the past 10 years and see where my fitness is trending, where maybe my fitness is lacking, what workouts did I not do good in, what workouts did I do really good in. It's just a cool way to kind of check to see where I am. But again, for others, it could just be something fun.
Yeah.
Something, it's normal CrossFit workouts, but it's just something that's going to give you the butterflies, give you a little like anxiousness because now we're like inputting our score and we have certain standards we have to hit and there's a judge there that's going to be judging your reps and it gives it that little bit of like competition feel. And I think that's good for everybody to experience at some point, whether it's the Open, a Deca Fit, a 5K, whatever. Signing up for something that makes you a little nervous and you get to use your fitness is a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
I have never had anybody sign up for the Open that was leery about it and then say, man, I wish I didn't do that. But there's a lot of people that are nervous. They let that nervousness get to them. They don't sign up. They're like, you should have signed up. And the cool thing is, like, if this is your first year and you're not sure, do it. Don't worry about the scores and anything. And then when you do it next year, you get to see your progress. Yeah. So I think it's a cool thing. We can modify, but yeah, it really, if you're like, dude, I got no freaking, I don't give a rat's butt about doing this stupid thing, then don't do it.
If you have like full on like you're anti on it, we're not going to push it on you. Fine, it's cool, you don't have to do it. But if you have like some curiosity about it and you're kind of like, I kind of want to do it, do it.
And the biggest thing we preach every year is this is not worth getting injured for. If you are like rehabbing an injury, you're just coming back from something, like maybe this isn't the year to do it. It's not worth that. If a movement shows up, you're like, oh man, I signed up for the Open, but this thing showed up. I know this hurts my shoulder every time. Let's skip a week. Or let's like go down to the foundations level and do that. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a
right.
deal, but it is fun, and it's something that like we get to hype up for.
Yeah, and I like how you said like it's always like a test of fitness. Like that's how I always take it. It's like, oh, I got to see where I stack up, but I also got to see my previous years how I performed. Am I going down? Am I going up? Like, so I can kind of see that as well. And it's also just a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Like outside of the competition and being like a competitive person, it's honestly just a blast. Like
it is.
I look forward to those Friday night lights and just having a good time, hanging out with every people, do the workout, and just like enjoy the moment.
Yep.
So not only is there like a test element to it or a competitive like fitness element to it, but there's also just a lot of community fun.
For sure.
And that's kind of the big thing I like to tell people is even if you're not really interested in where you stack up in the leaderboard, but you just kind of want to have fun and do something different, this is that thing.
Yeah.
It's having fun, it's doing something different. You get to test yourself, but at the end of the day, like if you're not worried about a leaderboard, you don't have to worry about a leaderboard. Like you don't have to. You can just kind of sign up and have fun and partake.
Yeah, and that's we make it more of the fun community event.
Yeah.
Which is why we redid the Intramural last year, and that's why we're going to keep it this year.
Yeah, because it was a blast.
It has, it's fun, and there's ways to get points for your team that are outside of just pure fitness.
Yeah,
so everybody can like bring some value.
Absolutely. So that's kind of what like the open looks like and whether or not you should sign up for it. So just a couple statistical things. The signups do open up the 15th, which is, as we're recording this, it's about 3 days out. So that registration will open up. You sign up through CrossFit's website. If you have questions, you can always ask a coach. But it's $20 for the registration. Yep. So you pay your registration fee. You'll sign up. You'll select CrossFit Angola as your affiliate, and that'll put you on our team, but that way we also know you signed up.
Yep.
So there's a process there. If you have questions about that, just ask the coach. It's pretty simple going, but if you're not a tech savvy person, we can help you out. But with that being said, the actual CrossFit Open itself doesn't begin until February 27th. Mm-hmm. So that's when the actual competition will begin, and it runs for 3 weeks. Yep. So there'll be 3 different workouts that we'll all do. You have to do them within that week. So I think they get released, if I remember correctly, Thursday, and then you have until Monday to submit your score.
Yep.
So that's kind of the statistical or layout of things. So looking at that, what we do as a gym is we do something called Friday Night Lights. So what that entails is as a gym, we will have an allotted time where we'll do the CrossFit Open workout together.
Yep.
So think of it as like that kind of competitive atmosphere. We'll set up heats as we need to. Some workouts have a little bit more space it needs.
Yep.
And so depending on the workout, we'll have a plan. But essentially on Fridays, we haven't really dictated time, but we usually do about 5:30.
So I think this year we're going to not have any evening classes. So we won't have the 4:30 or the 6 o'clock evening classes. It's all going to be Friday Night Lights.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. And then if you can't make it to Friday Night Lights, the CrossFit Open workout will be the programmed WOD of the day. WOD of the day, workout of the day. It's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
For the classes.
Yep.
So if you can only come to the morning or midday classes, you can still complete the workout because that's what's programmed.
Yep.
And then if you want to come to Friday Night Lights because it is more fun, we hoop and holler, we're going to do the intramural stuff.
Yeah.
That will be in the evening. I don't know when it'll start. We'll figure that out. Probably 5-ish, and then run heats after that. But yes, there will be no structured evening classes on those 3 Fridays. It will be Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
And that will be reserved for people signed up for the Open.
Exactly.
Because we had a lot of people sign up last year, and like everybody needs judges and scorecards and all that stuff. So Friday Night Lights, if you're working out there, you got to be signed up for the Open. If you're not, you can come to one of the earlier classes in the day, or you can come up here in the open gym space and do a workout up here.
Yep. And so that's kind of the timing of the event. We'll always do it on Friday, and again, it'll be scheduled throughout the whole entire day. So if you can't make the Friday Night Lights time, you can come earlier in the day and do it, or use open gym time, whatever it may be. But Friday Night Lights will be that evening of Friday. So that's when we'll always do the workout as a gym.
Yep.
Ouch. And then from there, looking at like what Friday Night Lights is, what it's going to entail is that evening we'll have, everyone competing, throwing down, getting judged, doing the workout, having a good time. And then there's weekly challenges that each team has to compete. So what is going to happen is after we get everyone who has signed up for the Open, we will break them down into different teams. So looking at this, we'll have each coach draft a certain amount of players depending on how many people sign up. But essentially, each coach will be responsible for a team.
Yep.
And then within that team, you'll be assigned a team color. a team name if you deem it so, and so forth. And then so what's going to happen is throughout the week up to that Friday of the open workout, each team has opportunities to score and earn points for their intramural team and accumulate throughout the week. So those can be things like checking in for class. It can be tagging the gym in social media, and tons of other things. They're things that I'll post and throw in our group down the road as we get closer. That's just kind of the general gist. This year, we're also going to introduce some weekly challenges where you can get an opportunity to earn an additional prize of sorts. Those prizes, top secret until the week of. So looking at that, though, you are within the CrossFit Open, your intramural team is going to be competing against the other intramural team. So it's the coaches' teams versus all the other coaches' teams. And so by the end of the third week, we will tally up all the total points and what that looks like, and the team will be crowned the intramural champion of the year. So
who won it last year? Was it Jason?
No,
Jason's
it was Ken's team.
Oh, it's Ken's. We're
Yeah.
gonna all new teams as well. Okay, Ken's out, Jason's out.
Yeah, it's like a full year roster change.
So now we get a brand new winner this year.
Yeah, let's hope so. It's my team. Although I think my team should have won. But so that's kind of the fun chaos that comes with the Intramural Open. So when the Open starts up, we'll have some challenges and things like that the teams are going to compete in. And I'll have tons of details about what those look. I'll post weekly updates and messages. I'll have a leaderboard running, but essentially a coach is going to draft a team, and your teams are going to be competing against each other throughout the open season with different challenges and tasks that you can accumulate points. So some of those points do come from completing the CrossFit Open workout. So you do need to be signed up for the Open to partake in the Intramural League.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're planning on, you're like, wow, this sounds like a lot of fun, I'm very interested, you will have to sign up for the Open because a part of your participation or your points do come from partaking in the Open. So that's kind of like the general gist of things. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, just step one is get signed up for the Open.
Yeah.
January 15th, like you said, opens up, and then from there we'll release more of the things as it gets closer. The other thing I wanted to talk about with the CrossFit Open is there are very set standards that come from CrossFit headquarters. So the CrossFit Open is not through CrossFit Angola. That's through CrossFit headquarters. The Intramural League, that's just something we do for fun under us. But when CrossFit releases these workouts, they have very set standards so that it is fair across the world. So if you know that some of these ranges, and most of them are ranges of motion, you have to hit specific ranges of motion or you get the no rep. Your rep doesn't count. For an example, one of them is when you're doing a squat, let's say we're doing wall balls in the Open, the crease of the hip must be below the knee. If you know, like, oh man, I struggle with full range of motion squats, I have mobility restrictions, whatever, you better start working on it if you're going to sign up for the Open because these you don't get a pass. You can still, like, again, if you're like, I just can't squat below parallel, cool, you can still participate, but those reps don't count. It's not fair. If someone's quarter squatting versus someone that's squatting all the way down, that's not an even comparison.
And that's an important thing to know, right? You could still partake. You're just going to have to know that, like, essentially your score is going to stop. So, like, let's say, for example, the workout goes, we'll say pull-ups, double unders, and squats. And you could do pull-ups and double unders, awesome, or jump rope or whatever, and you can get up to the squats, but you can't do full, like, range of motion squats. You can call your workout there, and that can be the end of your workout. But if you choose to want to, like, you're like, hey, I want to work out and complete it, you can keep going. Just know that, like, CrossFit Open wise, your workout stopped after you complete the jump rope.
There's just there are standards that we have to uphold to make sure that we're being fair and even across the board. And if you're like, oh man, that makes me nervous, I don't know what, you can go back and look at all of the CrossFit workouts from the history. I can't remember when it first started. 2008,
2008, something like that, somewhere around there.
And you can see, like, what the movement standards are. So, like, again, if you can't squat to full range of motion, you better stop adding weight to your back squat and half squatting and start working on getting your butt all the way down. Just different stuff like that.
And those are things to consider as well as when you're thinking about signing up. And again, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask coaches. We can kind of guide you, like where you might have some challenges or where it might be, a sticky spot for you. Like, hey, yes, you could sign up, but just know that you might have this problem arise or this challenge arise.
Yep.
So if you're just not really sure, don't be afraid to ask a coach. We can help guide you and give you whatever information we can to help you make a sound decision.
Yeah.
So ultimately ask questions, but keep those things in mind, especially when it comes like signing up for this. The Intramural League is fun, but again, it's not worth signing up if you're going to injure yourself or hurt yourself, right?
You just got out of physical therapy. This is like week 1 back.
Yeah.
Probably not sign up for the
Taking
Open.
those things into consideration, it's a fun event. It's not that you can't show up and have fun with everyone else. So, but if you want to partake in that Intramural League itself, you do have to sign up. Again, sign-ups do open up January 15th, so next few days. And as they open up, I will have a deadline for when you need to be signed up. It's usually a week, the Monday before the CrossFit Open starts, that Monday before the 27th. And then that way coaches can get rosters assigned, and then we'll start reaching out to our team. We usually make a group chat or whatever it is. We'll kind of talk to you guys, communicate with you guys, and I will be posting weekly the challenges and the things that can earn you points and prizes and things like that in the Facebook group. So if you're not a part of the Facebook group, get into the Facebook group. If you don't have Facebook, make sure you have your teammates communicating with you on what that looks like, and that's stuff you guys can break down. But it's a fun time, so if you have questions, again, don't be afraid to ask. But that's the CrossFit Open and the Intramural League and all that kind of a nutshell. So we have the same talks previous year. So if you want more details, you can always check out previous podcast episodes. But other than that,
that's it.
It's game time.
Yeah.
So don't forget to subscribe for more to come in the future, and leave a like and comment if you have any questions down below. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.